with Tyler Jones. We talked about Walter Clayton. How big of a factor will he be? Will Houston be able to neutralize him in your mind going into this game? And does it have to be somebody else like an Elijah Martin, Thomas Houck, Alex Condon, somebody else that picks up the slack? What do you think?
I think that there is a combination of sorts where if you're Houston, you're saying to yourself, as good as we play defense, he still is going to get his to some extent. You can't completely shut down Walter Clayton. You can make life difficult on him and you can slow him down a little bit, but there's only so much you can do. So if I'm Houston tonight, I'm doing what I can to slow him down, obviously, of what I can, but take away the other options like Martin and others. To me, I think it's going to be the big key in keeping Walter Clayton out of the lane and keep him on the perimeter, protect that space. And Houston does a pretty good job when it comes to defending the three as well. Number one three-point shooting defense in all of college basketball. But when I look at Walter Clayton too, the thing that catches my attention, we know the points. We've mentioned the Larry Bird stat a few times. If you know, you know. But what do they say? What's the old adage? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments.
That's right.
And Walter Clayton, some people call it the clutch gene. I hate to say that cliche, but you get the idea. He's not afraid of the moment. And I
love to say he's not letting them lose.
Yes.
That's the type of player he is. The he's not letting them lose type player.
If Florida loses this game, it will not be on Walter Clayton.
I got you.
It will be on who else steps up around him. And I mentioned this Saturday, these X factors come up in these big moments, guys that you don't typically expect all the time. And Florida, I think they're going to need some help. It can't just be Clayton and Martin doing everything. They're going to need more guys.
A few more moments left. Tyler Jones hanging with me, TJ Rives, as we watch along here on college basketball, coast to coast, and we count down the hours just after 9 Eastern time, 8 local time, about 8:20 actually, local time, 9:20 Eastern time. They will tee this one up for tonight, and we look forward to seeing what's going to happen. Does it surprise you, by the way, Tyler Jones, that in this matchup tonight, that the Florida Gators remain the betting favorite? They opened, a lot is made. Gambling actually not legal in Texas. That's interesting.
No, we're working on that.
But for everywhere else, Florida is still the 1-point favorite. They've been the 1.5 or 1-point favorite. Does it surprise you that Houston is not at least a pick'em or favored in this game tonight with Florida in the Lone Star State?
No, it doesn't surprise me too much. I think that when you look at the Florida alumni base and just how big that school is, that there's probably a lot of a lot of excited bettors of sorts that have maybe moved that line a bit, that have influenced Vegas in that direction. I think that has something to do with it. But this is a game that I think could go either way. I really do. I lean towards Houston, personally speaking, based on what I've seen all season long and how well they went through the Big 12. I was listening to Kelvin Sampson. One of the things he brought up in his post-game conversation was that they didn't play in a poodle league and go
right
31-4 like a certain team they just beat. That they went through adversity all season long, and the same can be said for Florida in the sense of what they did in the SEC. What's been the argument we've heard for so much over the last couple of seasons? Like, man, you have these tough conferences, these tough conference schedules. You're going to beat each other up and all this. Well, that wasn't the case for Houston and Florida.
Nope.
Here they are. They earned it. They went through such a gauntlet, such a tough slate. And to get to this point, I'm very impressed with both these teams at this juncture. I think that Houston's defense, what do we have an over-under number? What's the latest?
The over-under, I believe, is 137, again, right around there, or 138.
So if I'm looking
something in the upper 60s.
So I know TC Martin's our betting guy, but if I'm looking for a bet tonight, I'm hammering the under.
Yeah.
And I'm taking Houston to win and obviously cover as an underdog. I think that's your play tonight if you're looking for a parlay of sorts.